Good evening, everybody, and welcome to day 3 of week 4 of ALYFE Connects, our very first virtual-only event brought to you exclusively by ALYFE Group. Tonight, we are delighted to be joined by not one, but 2 national icons, as it were. We are joined by Alexis Sue-Ann, Miss World Malaysia 2019-2020, to share with us her pageant journey, some beauty tips and tricks, and also talk about a cause and organization that is very close to her heart. And in order to help her do that, we are very proud to welcome a former Miss World Malaysia herself as well. Chloe Chen, commercial talent, professional host, and MC, is here to guide Alexis through the conversation, and I'm sure have plenty of pageant secrets behind the curtain to share with us too. So I'll get out of their way and let these 2 wonderful ladies take over the evening. Enjoy.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. So we're talking to Alexis today. Hi, Alexis. How are you?
Hi. How are you? I'm good. Not too bad.
Okay, like before we get into this, like let's talk about the MCO. Like, how have you been dealing with that?
Actually, it's been okay. I think because secretly I am an introvert, and I like to just.
Are you an introvert?
I am. See, a lot of people don't. Just because I'm like loud on stage and everything, a lot of people think that I am an extrovert, but I actually just sometimes feel really uncomfortable when I'm in like big areas with like big crowds and stuff, and I just want to stay home all the time. So it's been pretty okay spending time with family.
See, like we're like a minute in and I'm learning something about you already. Like I didn't know you're an introvert. Okay, like that's new. So like you're okay with the MCO. Yeah, like some of my friends are like, I'm totally okay with this. Like, like this can go on forever. I'm cool.
I mean, hopefully not. Obviously, people have to get back to their lives and stuff like that, and it's good. But a lot of people are also struggling a lot more, so it's understandable.
Yeah. Well, it's good to know that you're dealing with it fine. So, okay, like we'll start with the questions. We're going to talk about, so today we're going to talk about beauty pageants and beauty tips as well from Alexis and her charity campaign, which she brought to London. It was about baby dumping, right? Baby dumping awareness, or okay, we'll talk about that later. Okay,
sure.
We'll start with beauty pageants first. So, tell me about Miss World Malaysia 2019-2020, and like, so what made you want to join?
What made me want to join Miss World Malaysia?
Yeah.
So basically, prior to doing Miss World Malaysia, I was already doing Miss Universe Malaysia back in 2017. That was when I was 22. So I've always wanted to do Miss World, right? But I guess at that point, I wasn't very familiar with the organization and stuff like that. I knew that I've wanted to do it because, I've grown up watching Miss World on TV, but, I never really had the guts to go ahead and just be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then one day in 2017, one of the workers at Miss Universe Malaysia was like, hey, I found you on Instagram, and I was wondering if you want to come audition for Miss Universe Malaysia. But at that point, I was like, I don't know if I am fitted for Miss Universe, because for me, my perception of Miss Universe has always been, 5'11" girls with like really nice voluptuous bodies, and just being that little perfect mold, right? And I didn't think that I was that. So for me, I was like, I don't think I want to join Miss Universe. But after a lot more consideration, I was like, you know what? If ever I wanted to do Miss World, I think going through Miss Universe Malaysia would be a good opportunity for me to learn, a good opportunity for me to understand the pageant industry a little bit more. So yeah, I think.
So you joined Universe first, and then the next year you joined World.
Yes, actually, yeah, a year, I would say.
A year after.
Okay,
so like
a year apart, yeah.
I don't have any experience in Universe, so do you know? Like, can you tell us like are there any differences between Miss Malaysia Universe and World? Like, is there a difference?
So it's to put it in layman terms, a lot of people have told me this, and the girls at Miss World were like talking about this. So Miss Universe girls are girls Miss World girls are girls who are the girl next door kind of look, you know, the girl that lives next door. And Miss Universe girls are the girls that you want them to live next door to you, if you get what I mean.
But that makes it sound like Miss World girls are like, you know, like common, like, I don't know. That makes it sound like Miss World girls are like less than Miss Universe girls. Like,
not really. I don't think so. I think Miss World girls have to be a little bit more dainty, a little bit more British, if I would say. You know, the way we dress is very different from what a Miss Universe girl would dress. The segments in Miss World as well, we have many. I mean, I'm pretty sure you know. We have many other different segments apart from catwalks. So we don't have bikini rounds, and we don't have like us standing on stage and saying, you know, Alexis Malaysia, you know, that kind of thing. We don't have all these things. So I think Miss World is a little bit more soft in terms of presentation. Yeah, that's the difference.
For those of you who don't know, like for Miss World, like there are like many segments, like Alexis said, right? So we have charity segment, top model, sports. You do sports?
Talent, yeah.
Talent. And what's the fifth one?
Head-to-head communication. So that's like communication skills.
Okay, yeah.
So
okay, what did you bring for Miss Talent?
So for talent, I actually sang "Let It Go" from Frozen in 26 different languages. So that
sang it?
Yeah, I sang it in 26 languages.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Is there like a video of that?
I have a little like behind the scenes one, but we weren't supposed to take any videos. It was supposed to be like a PNC thing, so I'm not sure if I can show it out.
Oh, it wasn't like broadcasted or anything like that.
No, unfortunately not this year.
Okay, we have a question from Forrest Vince Chan, and he says, like, what are your thoughts about major pageants like Miss Universe and minor pageants like Miss Tourism? What does he mean by that? Like, what do you think about the smaller pageants, maybe, compared to like the bigger ones?
I think different pageants serve different purposes. You know, obviously, Miss Universe is a pageant that focuses on, you know, their motto is confidently beautiful, and obviously, what they focus on is women empowerment. Miss World obviously is beauty with a purpose. So every different pageant that you go into serves a different purpose. So I don't think I would say that, you know, just because one girl is in Miss Universe and the other girl is in a minor pageant, one girl is ahead of the other. You know, there's no such thing to me. But I do believe that going into minor pageants before going into major pageants is a very big opportunity for you to grow. You know, if you're really into pageantry and you want to know the tricks and tips and slowly focus on branding yourself, you know, I think it's a very good opportunity for you to go through a minor pageant like Miss Tourism or Miss Eco, things like that. Yeah. So
actually, I agree, right? There are many girls who go from like a smaller pageant on to bigger and bigger ones. Like that's how they sort of progress, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's the girl's prerogative, you know, because for you especially, you just went into Miss World straight away and you won.
Yeah.
You know. So
yeah, but I was not prepared. Like I kind of wish I had more practice, you know, because I was not prepared.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess that's why a lot of girls join minor pageants first, you know. So I don't think a lot of people have been putting down minor pageant girls because obviously it serves as like quote unquote no relevance, but you know, it's a great platform for people or girls to really just focus on branding themselves. Yeah.
Okay. Someone is asking, how important is sash factor, and how can we overcome Malaysia's supposedly weak sash factor? Quite a tough question.
Yeah, it's a tough question.
I'm glad I'm not answering that.
I think that sash factor is definitely real. You know, there is such a thing as certain countries going further than certain countries because of sash factor, and a lot of people think that sash factor is because of like how strong your fan base is in the country and stuff, and it is true, you know, like it really depends. But we also have to remember that our sash factor is very weak because our country is not as big as, for instance, Thailand or Indonesia or the Philippines. You know, different countries hold different purposes. So it's very important because for the past, I don't know how many years, we haven't really advanced into the top 5 or top 12 for Miss World. I'm just speaking on behalf of Miss World because I do believe that we are not really supported much. You know, our country isn't very interested in the topic of pageantry. So I do believe that sash factor is very, very real, and how we can overcome it, I don't know. It's a very tough one. This one, you know, it is a combination of the support of the people, the support of the government, and the support of everyone around you. You know, so you can't just say that, oh, you know, how come organizations are not doing big events for Miss Universe or Miss World Malaysia in like big arenas in Bukit Jalil and everything, because it's not possible for us. We don't have the fan base, you know, like Philippines, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay, I have a question. Like, what was your favorite memory from your experience in Miss World? Miss World or Miss World Malaysia, like either one, like your favorite memory, like the most positive thing that happened to you.
I think from Miss World, I guess I don't know, a lot of the whole time that I was there, I really didn't have any bad things to say about my journey. You know, it was so fruitful, and everyone there was so nice. The organization was really nice. You know, my friends are all really nice, all the countries, you know. But I think the most memorable one was hearing Malaysia being called out for Beauty with a Purpose in the top 10 for the very first time, because obviously we combined our best designer award night with the Beauty with a Purpose award night together. We combined it
Okay.
into last year. So for us, we were just sitting down in dinner tables waiting for our names to be called out, because in the morning they were like, oh, okay, so here's the top 30, but the winners will be announced only at night. So all of us were like obviously anxious, but deep down I was like, I don't know how far we would go. You know, there's so many different Beauty with a Purposes out there, and every single one of the girls Beauty with a Purpose were all different, and they were all so amazing, you know, and the production of their videos were crazy. So for me it was like, I don't think I would get it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And I was sitting with like the countries that are strongest, like France, India, Philippines, Indonesia. All of them were just sitting on my table, and all of us were just talking. And so when they called out the top 10 one by one, it was France, and she was like, oh yay, but all of us were like, hey, expected, you know. And then they called India, and I was like, okay, cool. And this guy on my table was like, oh, this is a winning table. This is definitely, you guys are all gonna get called out. Every one of the girls from our table only.
Oh, wow.
And then it was me there just sitting down, knowing that I would never get it. So
Alone.
Yeah, alone, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was alone with a random couple that was sitting with us.
Yeah.
I was sitting there and I was just, you know, eating my fish. Once I put it into my mouth, they were like, Malaysia. And I was like, wait, is it Malaysia or Indonesia? Like, I can't really, you know?
Yeah.
I just stood there for 5 seconds because I didn't think that it was me. But when I looked around, I was like, wait, Princess, which is Miss Indonesia, already had gone up. So I was like, is it me? And this guy was like, go Malaysia, go. And I just couldn't believe it because we've never gotten it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the first time.
Yeah.
So I actually want to ask you about that. Like, how did you come up with the idea to do your project based on, I mean, like your idea for your project was baby dumping, right? Yeah. Like, where did you get, why did you choose this cause for your project?
So mom used to work for a charity foundation. And ever since I was 13, we have been going out and looking at different like old folks home, orphanage homes and stuff like that, because the foundation would support them with monetary goods, right? So for me, going to different homes were a norm for me already. But when I went to this one, because one of my mom's friend was like, hey, do you want to volunteer just helping to play with the kids and just, just taking care and babysitting them while we clean up the place? I was like, yeah, sure. When I went there, I was a little bit shocked because I saw just maybe like 10 beds stacked up between each other and 10 baby cots. And I was like, wait, if this was an orphanage home, why didn't they have any kids over 2 years old? Because all of them were babies. And then I saw the mothers coming out and they seemed pretty young. So I asked my mom's friend, I was like, okay, what is this place? And she told me that this place, Rumah Kita, is actually a little home that houses teen moms who have been outcasted or have been raped by their family members or like ex-spouse and stuff like that. And they obviously got pregnant and they have to run and they have nowhere to go. So they come here and these babies, and there were literally 20 babies on the floor, were all babies who have been found in public areas, who have been baby dumped, and they don't have any they don't have any birth certs, they have nothing on them, so they're basically stateless. So obviously I did a lot more research on this because I was obviously very interested in the whole topic. And when I did my research, I noticed that Malaysia is one of the top 2 highest in the world for baby dumping cases. And it's
how bad is the problem actually in Malaysia? I mean, we know it happens, but how bad is it actually?
We are the top 2. We are the top 2 in the world. So,
but like the statistics, like how many do you know? Like the numbers, like
as of 2010, I think the amount of babies that have been baby dumped is over 2,000. So we have
like in a year.
Yes, and in KL itself, if I'm not mistaken, is about 500. Yeah,
and these are the cases that we found, right? So there will be cases that we don't know about.
No,
and
these are
and they're not always found alive, are they? The babies?
Well, 60% of them die within the first day itself because they're either flushed down the toilets alive, like in public toilets in petrol stations, and they flush them down, or they tie them into plastic bags and they suffocate them and then they throw them into the rivers, or they put them in public trash bins. And what they do is they put the lid on so that nobody will find them. But sometimes, because there are fire ants, there are big like red ants out there, right? So obviously, we have heard of cases of babies getting bitten by all these ants till they rot. Either that or wild dogs will come and bite their ears, bite them all over. So it's quite bad. I don't want to get into it, but it's very, very bad if you go and do your research and you look at pictures online. It's terrible in our country.
Okay, so like what did you seek to do like with your campaign?
So to keep it short, there's 2 ways. So the first one being awareness, where we reach out to local schools. I go out with Orphan Care Foundation and we go to schools in rural areas and we teach and educate 13 and 14-year-olds about very, very minor things like abstinence, how to say no, how to get yourself out of an abusive home, who to call, very minor things. Or, like if my friend touches me on the shoulder, it's not a sacred place, but I feel uncomfortable. Is that still abusive or not? Things like that. Because a lot of these kids surprisingly don't understand the severity of being in a household or being in an environment where they are abused, and that's how they get into relationships where they don't use protection, things like that. Yeah, so we try our best to go out and educate them about this, not just girls, guys as well. And then the second one,
that's sort of like tackling the problem at the root, right? Like, because that's what it is. Like, it's an unwanted pregnancy at the end of the day.
Yeah, but
you were saying, sorry, the second thing that you were doing?
Yeah, sorry, coming back to the first one, I actually thought that the kids wouldn't know that about like maybe safe sex, things like that. But they were like, kakak, I tahu dah, like they know about protection. They know about all these things. So I talked to this really young girl, 13, 12, 12-year-old. I think she was still 12, but she was in the first year of secondary school, obviously. And I asked her, "What are you so worried about?" And she said, "Kaka, I actually, heard my sister yesterday crying in her room, and she was with her boyfriend. And I didn't know what was happening because once she came out, she said, 'Don't worry,' she was crying. And I didn't know what it was, but I think it's this, and I didn't know what to do about it." So things like that, it doesn't just have to be about them. We're not educating them solely on how to do it for themselves. It's basically, for their parents, for their sisters, for their brothers, everything. So that's the first one that we wanted to touch upon. The second one being sustainability. We actually get all these teen moms in Rumah Kita to, we have a lady come over every Monday before MCO to teach them on how to do jewelries. I actually have one here, things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so we teach them how to do all these jewelries and we sell them. And then all the proceeds will go to, 60% of the money will go to the mothers, and the remaining will go to Rumah Kita itself. So nothing goes to us. Everything goes back to Rumah Kita. Yeah.
Okay. So that was the project that you brought to Miss World, right?
Yeah.
Which got you top 10 for Beauty with a Purpose. Amazing. Like, it's never been done. Like, when I actually saw that, like, you won that, I was like, oh my God. Like, I've never heard of any Miss Malaysia actually winning that. So I'm like, wow. And then you actually made it to top 40 as well. It's really good. Like, you did really, really well at Miss World. You should be proud.
Thank you. I wish I could do more, but
I mean, it's good already. I have a question actually. Did you face any problems like cyberbullying? Because that is so common when it comes to like pageants, especially now with like social media and everything. Like, I mean, a lot of my friends went through it. I went through it. Did you have any experiences like that?
For Miss World Malaysia, no. Actually, I've been quite fortunate to have a lot of people support me, which I'm very, very thankful for. All the fans were very, very nice about it. But during Miss Universe Malaysia, I received a lot of backlash, mainly because of my height, I think, because I was quite aggressive in terms of wanting to win, right? So a lot of people could see how much I was doing, like the efforts that I was putting in. But there will obviously be haters here and there. So obviously everybody was commenting things like, yeah, she works hard. She has the attributes of Miss Universe Malaysia, but she's damn short. She's not she's flat and she's nothing, blah blah blah. She's not thin enough, blah blah blah. So in terms of physical appearance, I did have a lot of cyberbullying, but
only for Universe, not for World.
No, not for World actually.
Wow, you're so lucky.
Yeah.
Because pageant fans can be so cruel,
Did you have it?
I'm sure you know. Yeah, very bad. Because like it's a very, I mean, it's quite a toxic sort of situation, where fans want a certain girl to win and then that girl doesn't win. And so they sort of like, because I mean you didn't do anything, but because you won, you are immediately the enemy, And I got a lot of that. So like, you're really lucky that you didn't actually, because that can really mess up your mind and your confidence and everything. Well, you're lucky. Forrest has another question. What are your thoughts about Steve Harvey bumbling the announcement, especially wrongly announcing the crown in 2015 and the traditional costume win in 2018-2019?
Okay, wait, let me just read this because it's quite long.
It's pretty long.
Yeah.
It's about Steve Harvey.
What are your thoughts about Steve Harvey? Okay, that one was back in 2015, so that's quite old as well. Pia Alonso Woods back, that one.
Yes.
Well, like I said, it's pretty old. Everyone makes mistakes, we forgive and forget. So if they're fine with it now, I don't see a problem with it at all anymore. I don't think it's a problem with us anymore. I don't think he will make the same mistakes anymore. So yeah, we have to forgive and forget. Traditional costume win in 2018, 2019.
I think this was the Shweta one, like where she was standing. Did you see that?
Yes,
I think she was standing there. Yeah, what did you think about that?
I think it was wrong. I think that Miss Universe didn't do a very good job in organizing it. I think maybe because they were there only for 10 days. So I'm pretty sure last year's edition of Miss Universe was very rushed. And I don't think that they organized it as well as they would have for the past years. So I think
Mm-hmm.
because of that, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Philippines was in the top 20. That's why she didn't come out for the national costume thing, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
but
I
then they
think they,
shouldn't. I mean, I'm with you on that. Like, they
yeah,
shouldn't bring Shweta or whoever it is, like, who didn't win out if
yeah,
she's
I'm
not the
not
winner,
sure.
right?
But actually, I'm not sure about the news. I don't remember if it's because Shweta won and then they changed it, or it's because Shweta was like the second one in line. I'm not too sure about the situation. But either way, it's super wrong for them to bring her out and embarrass
Yeah.
not just her entire country, because now we've always had a very good connection with the
Mhm.
Philippines in terms of pageantry, with the pageant fans, with our countries are being very, very close to each other all this while. And because of this situation at Miss Universe, there was so much more hate between each other.
But
Everyone had,
from my experience, like, the Filipino fans are quite mean.
really? I've always
Yeah,
had
yeah,
really
yeah.
Filipino fans.
Really, my year, like, they were not very nice. They were not very
Mhm.
nice. Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
I don't know, because, like, my pageant experience was like almost 10 years ago. So maybe, like, it has changed. Maybe people have changed, But like back then, it was terrible.
well, they're always
Really,
very
really.
aggressive. That's why I think they're very aggressive with pageant, and that's why they will always feel like maybe they have the upper hand.
Mm-hmm.
Which is very true because they are very good in pageantry, and they've won many times. But
Yeah.
I think there was any problems with the Philippines and Malaysia before this situation happened. And because of this, I think it has created quite a dispute over each other. So it's
Oh,
quite bad lah. Yeah.
maybe it'll settle down after a few years.
I think so, yeah, but they'll
People
always
will calm down.
I don't know. We'll see.
There's always something that happens. Like, the year that the Pia's year, right? I think
Mm,
Vanessa was like consoling her, and that's why Filipinos, I think, started to
like,
like
yeah.
Malaysians after that. So there's
Mm.
always something, like, that happens. It's like a very, I don't
But
know.
my best friends at Miss World was Philippines and Indonesia, and Malaysia and Indonesia always had this fight for some reason. Now the
Malaysia
whole
and Indonesia?
always
Really?
they
Not my
always
time.
really.
Yeah, no, no. Like, I was pretty okay with Miss Indonesia, with everybody actually, but my roommate was Miss India. And
Mm,
I was told before this that the previous Miss Indias were like very, very competitive and like
mm,
not very nice.
mm,
But
mm,
my Miss India was like really, really nice.
mm, mm.
So like when I knew my roommate was Miss India, I was like, oh no, like I'm so scared. But she turned out to be like the sweetest person.
Yeah, Miss India was very nice. I think that every girl is okay. It's just I think some countries depend on the girls a lot more. Like for us, it's not as big of a deal as in India or Venezuela and stuff like that. So they have a lot more pressure on their hands. They have a
Mhm.
lot more duties to hold. So I think because of that, they are very competitive. Yeah.
Oh, we got a question from Kenny asking, where is top one? I think he's referring to the number one country in the world for baby dumping. Fiji.
So in 2018 we were number one. As of
Oh
2019,
no.
I am not very sure because I couldn't find the statistics online. So yeah.
I can't believe that we were number one. I mean, number
Sorry.
two is bad enough, but I can't believe that
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
number one.
2018 we were number one. How crazy, right?
Why do you think that this problem is so prevalent in Malaysia? Like,
Oh,
particularly Malaysia compared to other countries. I mean, yeah, we are a rather conservative,
mm,
sort of society, but I'm sure
mm,
there are more conservative
mm.
countries out there.
Yeah, I actually couldn't figure out why. Well, number one is because I think we don't teach sex ed in our
Mhm.
schools. Um, Number two, yeah, actually, I can't even say poverty because that's what I was thinking as well. And I was telling my friend, I said, if we are number one, what is India or what is Bangladesh? Like countries with a lot more poverty, but surprisingly, we're number one and number two. So I don't know why, but at the end of the day, it derives from education. Like, I think a lot of I think we're very closed in that sense. We're not educating our kids enough. So yeah, I hope that it would change soon.
Yeah. Hopefully, because that's pretty bad.
It
About relationships with regards to like pageants, okay, because I don't know whether you're in a relationship or not, but like back then I was, and I know like many of my friends who were in pageants as well, like winning a title like that just sort of changed the whole like dynamic in their relationship, and a lot of relationships don't actually last. Like, do you have any experience with that, and did it affect you in any way?
in terms of like friends who are not in the industry.
No, like for you personally, like in your relationship, like with your boyfriend or whoever, like did you have problems like because of the pageant? Like did winning Miss Malaysia cause you any problems in your love life?
Who is asking this question?
I'm asking because like I actually have experience like that, and it's very interesting for me to ask people. But you don't have to answer if that's too personal.
I can answer it. I can answer it. Actually, not for Miss World, because I think that I did a whole lot more self. I always say this. I did a whole lot more self-reflection, a whole lot more self-actualization before I even attempted to put in my applications for Miss World Malaysia. So I already going into Miss World Malaysia, I knew my purpose and I already had everything planned out. So for me, it was like, okay, I'm just gonna do this. I'm not gonna go through this, blah 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 blah. But for Miss Universe Malaysia, mainly maybe because I was a little young at that point as well. I didn't know how to. I didn't know how to focus on putting my anger on myself and not on other people, right? So for me, uh, when it comes to, because I didn't win Miss Universe Malaysia, I got first runner up for that. I
First one
think
up is really good already.
yeah, but at that
Yeah.
point, I think I've always been very competitive. I've been very competitive ever since I was a young girl. But when I joined Miss Universe Malaysia, obviously I put a lot of effort into it, a lot more than Miss World, I would say. In the wrong ways, because for me it was like, I'm gonna take my opponents out instead of just going in and having a great time and enjoying the moment. I didn't do any of that for Miss Universe. So I guess because of that, and being first runner up instead of second runner up or third runner up, I felt like I was the backup. I've always felt
Okay.
like, for me, I don't mind being second runner up or third runner up because it's far away from being the winner. But like first runner ups are always the backups for the winners. So I just felt like being used in that sense, and it wasn't true because they were all very, very nice about it. But because I worked so hard for it, I became very bitter in that sense. So my relationship at that point was already going downhill because obviously I took a lot of time off to focus on myself and focus on training for the pageant, that I didn't care about anything or anyone around me. I was just in my own
Right.
bubble and I just wanted to win, 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 win. So in
Yeah.
that sense, um, I did have a lot of problems with my back then relationship. And then my best friend, actually, she because I after losing or after not winning, I went down this really bad hole, and I dug myself so deep to the point where I couldn't even get back up, right? So I was going through this really anxious stage. And she would speak to me on the phone for like 3 hours every single day, just trying to like get me back, like snap me back to reality, right? So for me, um, getting back to realizing that life goes on was a very hard thing to do, because obviously I lost my relationship, not because of my bitterness or whatever, but because of how the pageant. I thought pageantry would help me in becoming a better person, but it only put me down a lot more, you know.
Mhm.
So in terms of that, I didn't have a very good relationship with my then boyfriend. So the relationship passed. And then with my friends, with my family members, I was always very bitter. I blamed everyone except myself in layman terms, you know. So
Yeah.
I guess that happens to a lot of people, because in my year, a lot of the girls in Miss Universe Malaysia were going through severe depression. Yeah, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
get, yeah.
like I feel like pageants can really, really make you or break you, and most of the time they break you because it's just so much psychological stress. Honestly, I don't think people even understand
No.
like how much stress that is. Like it's not just a competition; it's just like I don't know, like it's really a lot of girls I know. They're like, "Okay, I've done it once. I'll
Mm,
never do it again," you
yeah.
know.
Mhm.
But I mean, most of the girls who say that are those who won.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
if you haven't won, I think like you've got unfinished business, and
Mm.
you will inevitably try to win it. And I'm glad that you did, and
Mm.
and you seem to have really like grown, and you seem stronger. Like you dealt
Yeah.
with your Miss World experience so much better than your Miss Universe experience.
Yeah. For
But
sure.
yeah, I mean, pageants really can bring out the worst in people.
Yeah. I think a lot of people don't understand that, because from the outside, people think, once you win your national pageant, a lot of people will be like, okay, this is what you need to do. We know what's best for you, blah blah blah. And it's always good to take constructive criticism, but it's also really important to remember who you are. And people don't understand, but pageantry can actually make you lose yourself a lot.
Yeah, yeah,
So
and some people lose themselves for a long time,
very long
not
time.
just like a couple of months or a year. Like for a
No.
long time, it can happen.
Yeah. So
But
it's good. Yeah.
how did you? I mean, because it's just a year apart. So how did you go like from that experience to being like in a good place and ready to try again the next year? Like how did you do that?
Well, my best friend helped me a lot. Like I can't even emphasize that more. Nicole, she's very good with her words. Like she's a very she's full of wisdom. I don't know how to explain it. And whenever we talk, we don't talk about surface stuff. We really talk about things like religion, or if psychological stuff, that plays with your mind, blah blah blah. She really talked to me every single day to see where the root of the problem comes from, where it derives from, and stuff like that. So that helped me a lot, because she was like a therapist to me, and I think
Mhm.
in that sense, therapy did help. I did a lot more meditation as well. I know it's cliche to say it, but meditation really, really worked for me. So um, because of that, I got a whole lot calmer. And I guess after a while, because I was still doing charity projects with my family and stuff like that, I told myself, before, after Miss Universe, I was like, I'm never gonna do this again. This is crap.
Oh,
This
so
is
you were one of those girls who said that.
yeah, and the fans can actually vouch for that, because I would like comment that saying like, please don't tag me anymore. I do not want to do any more pageants.
Oh, wow.
Um, yeah, I was one of them. And then I guess they kind of influenced me a little bit, because they were like, hey, maybe you should take a look at Miss World again, because we've always looked at you more of a Miss World than a Miss Universe. So maybe you should look into that, because then you can ace the different segments, because I'm a very active person. I like sports. I sing here and there and stuff like that. So I guess for them it's like she can ace better in Miss
Mhm.
World. So I guess I sat down with my mom one day and I was like, okay, I'm doing all these charity projects. And I guess that's the main reason why I even joined Miss Universe in the first place. I thought that it would get me somewhere to speak out and stuff like that. So if I want to join another pageant, am I doing it just for publicity, or am I just doing it or am I doing it for a platform for me to speak out even more? So I had to sit myself down and think about it first, because I don't want to go into something else knowing that I'm just there for my face to be shown. That's not who I am. That's not what I stand for. So for me, after a while, I was like, I've been doing charity projects and stuff like that. I really want this to go out. and I've already done the Chance for Change thing since 2018. So for me, it's like, okay, let me just try this one more time. Let me see if it works. If it doesn't work, if I don't win, that's okay. I'm still gonna continue my project. And then I won, and I was like, okay, I guess it's a good thing. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. We have a question from Andy Lim. What are your top 3 advices for those who want to join beauty pageants? Top 3.
Top 3 advice. Quick and simple. Number 1, do a lot of research on which pageant you're joining. You can't just join a pageant just to, like I said, just to get your face out there. You need to know what the pageant stands for. You need to understand what they're looking for. So do a lot of research. Number 2, as bad as it sounds, you need to be able to be active on social media, because a lot of times now, especially for Miss World, we have the voting thing for Mobstar. If I'm not, I don't know if you had it or not.
No, I'm too belakang already. Don't have.
So we have this voting thing, so to advance you further into the next round of head to head, which is the communication thing. So a lot of it plays on the whole social media end. So being active on social media and posting a lot is very important. Number 3 is to remember your roots. I always say that the most important thing for me is to always remember where you came from, how you started, how you got to where you are now. Never exceed and never think that you're ahead of others. Always remain humble. So, yeah.
That's 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We have another question from Andy. Can you sing Frozen live?
Ayo!
Okay, maybe not in like how many languages? 26 languages?
I don't remember.
Maybe like in the funniest language out of the 26 languages.
But it was like combination. So it was.
Oh,
it was
so like one sentence from.
Yeah.
Oh.
I had 2 minutes to sing, and within those 2 minutes, you have to go through all the languages. I don't remember though. Can I sing the original one without the languages?
Is that okay, Andy? Can lah, I think. Can lah. Yeah, go for it.
Damn it. Okay, never mind. I'll just sing I remember the chorus of the 26 languages.
Okay, good.
Oh my
god. Not go. Last year only. Don't tell me you forgot.
I know, it's hard. Okay, it's really hard. Oh shit. Ani no mama no sunada mi senuraya libra soy libra-te vuelta atrás es libre nothing is mistake yo sa sorga it's just man and siva men uloye. That's all.
What? I didn't know you could sing,
Huh? No lah, I'm
Emma,
okay. Bathroom sing.
Oh, no, you're not. You sing really well. Yeah, look, and he's like, wow. That's really good. Yeah, wow. I'm impressed.
Oh, thanks.
Wait, what languages was that? The first was Korean, right? I think I recognize Korean.
Japanese.
Oh, Japanese. Okay.
And Dutch, and then Polish, and then Spanish.
Wow. Look at the response. Everybody's going crazy, okay? I told you it was good. Okay, so besides Miss Malaysia, like what do you do? You are an actress, you do some singing, obviously. You're a content creator as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I actually want to talk about content. Like, how do you come up with the content that you put out? Like, how do you maintain your your inspiration? Like, how do you always have something to put up? Because that's something that I personally struggle with. Like, I don't know what to put up. So, how do you do
it? I mean, as of now, I've just been posting up like OOTDs because obviously you can't really. I try to refrain from going out.
I checked your Instagram though, like just now, like an hour ago.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like, I can't tell that you're in quarantine because there's just so much activity, you know? Like, how do you do that? Like, do you come up with like a plan? Okay, like today I'm gonna post this, post that, or like you just sort of like happens?
I have a notebook, so I try to stay as active as I can on social media. So I have a notebook to, if you notice, right, I actually post video, picture, video, picture, video, picture. I try my best to do that because I don't want to post too many videos and too many pictures consecutively. Yeah, I'm very OCD about it. So
Video picture, video picture.
yeah, like if you, I don't know how to explain it. If you see my Instagram,
Yeah.
basically, so I would post, sorry, that's a little, so I would post
Yeah.
picture, video, picture, video,
Oh,
picture,
right,
video.
right.
Yeah,
The alternate.
yeah, I try my best to do that, and it's because I have two different age group that are following me.
Okay.
So
Oh, so like the videos are for the younger crowd or the older?
so the videos are more TikTok. I know I have gotten into it ever since quarantine. I didn't want to get into it, but
You sound so guilty. You're like, I know.
because everyone was like, "Oh, please get into TikTok." Like Marco D, back in 2018 was like, "You should get into TikTok. It's gonna boom." And I was like, "No, I don't think so. It's quite lame. It's like a musically, everybody's just lip singing." And then it went crazy. And I was like, "You know what? Maybe I should try it." So I did it, and then I posted one on Instagram, and everybody was just like hundreds of DMs coming in asking me to do more, and I was like, "Why?"
Wow.
Yeah, so I guess for me, I like to do all this fun stuff, but I also like to, my passion is, obviously more of a fashion based thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to keep that as well because a lot of girls follow me for whatever I wear and how I style myself as well. So I want to maintain both at the same time. I want to please both of the age groups lah. So I just post and then I post my OOTDs and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, it's really good, like to I don't know, like I really admire like content creators who can just sort of come up with content just like that, like it's a talent, really, and it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work, I know it is. But speaking of that, for all your female followers out there, like can you share with us some of your beauty tips? Because we promised that we would be talking about that. So tell us more about what you do for your skin. What kind of skin do you have? How do you deal with it?
To keep this short, my beauty routine isn't like what everyone would do. Like I don't use toners. I don't use toners at all. So what I do is, to keep this short, I wash my face with, because I'm very my skin is very sensitive, and a lot of people have commented about this in my IG videos. Everybody thinks it's love bites, but it's basically like, if you can see, it's like a bit red and stuff.
Oh, I can't see.
So like on my neck, I have all
Okay.
these red spots sometimes, occasionally, and it's because of the heat. Like I'm not accustomed to the heat for some reason, and my body just can't take the heat, so I get very heated up very quickly, and all these spots come up, and they're not itchy and they're not painful or anything. It's just very sensitive to my face, so I cannot use expensive face wash.
Lucky you.
Yeah, actually, I'm quite lucky. So I have to use drugstore products. So what I use is Cetaphil. That's my go-to.
Yeah.
I use Cetaphil, and then recently I have gotten into Fresh products. They're really, really good. So I have been using their kombucha facial treatment essence. So that's just an essence that I put on, and then after that I would use the Lancome Advanced Genifique, and then eye cream and moisturizer. That's it. But most of them are from Fresh because
Do you mask?
Not as often as I should.
But you don't have like acne or anything like that, right? You have like really good skin, so you've never struggled with acne.
Maybe when
Those people.
Huh?
You're one of those people who never had bad skin.
No, I had a lot on my forehead. Not acne lah, maybe just like spots. When I was 13, 14, when I was going through like changes with my body and stuff like that. So I had to go to, obviously I had to go get something done about that. So I had to take pills to stop all this, but it only cracked up my lips a lot. So it would start to bleed. So I stopped that. But ever since then, actually my skin has been pretty okay.
Accutane lah, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I took that like twice because I have bad skin.
Your skin is good. What are you
No, it's not. Like I have like pimples, like congestion, you know, like and dry. It's like dry. It's
you
yeah.
put makeup, is it? Because you're a model, you always put makeup. That's why.
But it's not really the makeup. It's just that I'm not born with good skin. You know, some people are born with good skin, and some people are not. You know, that's just how it is. Makeup. What about makeup? Like, what's your daily makeup? Because like your face is like always on point.
No.
It is now.
Oh, thanks. Contouring is my number one because my face is not the smallest. I don't have a small face, as you can see. So
Neither do I.
really, your face,
I
your
don't.
face is long. I like
It's long,
that.
but it's not small. It's not small.
Really?
Yeah. It's just that the length sort of helps me, but then it's really long and it's not small.
I like long faces, but I have some hater called me this back in 2016, but someone was like, "Oh, you have a strawberry head," and I just laughed because my head is like a strawberry. You can see it. So I was like, "Oh my god, it's true." So I have a strawberry face.
But isn't that like what Koreans want, like the V shape? That's strawberry, isn't it?
I think Korean faces are small. Like I have very, very high cheekbones, and I have very like my jawline is very, very big. Like my bones are very big, which I hate a lot.
So you like counter that with makeup?
Yeah, sort of. So I just contour a lot here. Not today. You can't really see it today, but normally when I go out for events or for photo shoots, I try my best to contour it here because my cheekbone's really high. So if I don't contour it down, it will look like my face on top is like more less than what it is at the bottom. It's just dumb lah. Okay, my face is just really hard to maintain. But yeah, that's what I put for makeup, contouring, and then what I like to do is I like to shape my brows nicely. So I like more of a fluffy, natural kind of look.
You draw your brows.
At the end because my brows are okay. They're not very thin. So things.
So you have eyebrows lah.
Yeah, I had eyebrows.
Okay. No, it's true. Like some people like they need to draw on their brows like every day. You know, like when you see them without eyebrows, like whoa. Yeah, so you have eyebrows. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Congratulations.
Oh my god! But you have eyebrows as well, right? Your hair's pretty.
My eyebrows are too much. I have too much eyebrows. It's like really bushy.
I love it.
No, it's like it grows like here, you know, like doing this MC4. I just let it go. If I don't do my brows, I have a bit of unibrow also, you know.
Oh, really?
It's bad, yeah. And like mustache, like I'm very hairy. So.
You have that kind of bushy brow that I really want, you know, like the feathery look.
Like the bushy brows lah. But you can draw it easily. Like one thing I like about having eyebrows is that you can't change the shape, you know. Like I really wanted like straight brows at one point, like the Korean straight brows.
Why?
It's nice. I mean, I like that having that choice, you know. But yeah, I'm just stuck with this lah. Okay, we're like almost done with the hour. Does anybody have any questions for Alexis? We have one that just came in. What is your opinion of Malaysia in terms of winning any of the major beauty pageants? Do you think we should get professional help from other winning countries? All right, so should we get like catwalk gurus from abroad to train our girls? Is that what you mean? I think that's what he means, right?
What is your opinion of Malaysia in terms of winning any of them? Oh, okay. Because because a lot of fans are very concerned. We haven't, like I said, advanced into the semi-finalists for quite some time.
But top 40 is already good improvement I didn't place, okay? So you know, we are advancing. We are.
I mean, but Miss Universe is very tough to advance because you never know what they're looking for, you know.
Mhm.
I do believe that eventually we'll get somewhere, obviously. I do believe that we are advancing, our girls are advancing. We know what to do a lot more than, for instance, 10 or 15 years ago, you know, when social media wasn't a thing yet. So I do believe that we are, in terms of choosing girls, doing a better job this few years. But I also think that because, like I've mentioned, Malaysia is not a country that seeks pageantry for comfort. You know, like Philippines, their life is the three B's. If I'm not, no, the three P's. They said no, three B's or something: basketball, beauty pageants, and boxing. That's what they say.
Oh,
The
so
three
the
B's.
girls have beauty pageant.
Yes, and beauty pageants, like beauty queens there are treated like gods, right? So I guess it's very, very different for us because unfortunately for us, beauty pageants here are not as relevant. So I think because of that, we are also not recognized by the international pageants a lot more than other countries. I do believe that we also don't have a lot of people who are passionate about teaching the tricks and tips of pageantry, how to win and stuff like that. I think that we only have, for instance, catwalks for modeling and catwalks for pageantry is very different, right? So a lot of fans are arguing about that, asking us to send our girls to Indonesia, to Philippines for the real pageant coaches to train. So I do believe that that would help us tremendously in terms of winning, not winning lah, maybe advancing further in international pageants. But we also have very passionate people who are not, they don't have any companies. Like my catwalk teacher is actually Filipino, and he
Mhm.
was willing, more than willing, to just help me out, and he did a tremendous job in training me for Miss World and Miss World Malaysia. So I think that there are people who are willing to help. It's just that I guess for us it's still a business after all in Malaysia. So I think companies here would want to maintain that business, you know, professionally.
Yeah. But like, I mean, it's not just training as well. Like, you know, I think that we've sent girls who are like really, really well trained, but again,
Hmm.
like back to sash factor, and what is sash factor? Like, you have to remember that a pageant is a business, you know,
Mm.
and they get, you know, their money from like viewership and all of that. So all of that needs to be taken into consideration, you know, like
Yeah.
they are running a business. They're not gonna give it to someone who
No.
like whose country doesn't even watch the pageant, who doesn't even care about the pageant, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
and that's why India always wins, and that's why India always advance further, because India is so into pageantry, and they've won so many times. Ashwarya Rai, Priyanka Chopra, and stuff like that. So for them, pageantry is as big of a thing as the Philippines. So viewership there is high, and that's why they can afford, companies that can afford or are willing to sponsor the Miss Universe organization or Miss World organization. Hence, it will be bigger. So everything leads back to business, and unfortunately, in our country, it's not the case. Yeah.
yeah, it's like a cycle.
Mm.
Andy Lim says, "You both make Malaysia proud. Thank you. Can you both do the beauty pageant intro? My God, does he do the universe one?
Miss World doesn't do it.
Yeah, Miss World doesn't do it. So are we gonna pretend that we are at Miss Universe and do the
Oh my
intro?
God. I guess
So
that you
it's
have,
like I do first.
you have to do.
Um,
Is it your name, your age, and country, if I'm not mistaken?
oh
Yeah.
my God.
But you said your age, the time when you competed.
Oh no, I think I should do my real age
Okay.
and country. Okay.
Country. So your
Okay. Oh my
name,
God, how would I
age.
do this?
I know
Name?
everybody's asking me to do this.
Why? Huh?
I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know.
Name, age,
Age,
and country.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. I need to do my hair. Okay.
Oh my God. Chloe.
Shit. Chloe Chen, 30, Malaysia. shut it down, man. 30, like shut it down. Okay, your turn.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Miss World girls don't do this, okay, Andy. How am I? Okay.
Semangat.
Sorry.
Semangat.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Semangat. Like, give it your all,
semangat.
okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay. Alexis Sue-Ann, 25, Malaysia.
Right. Very confident. Yours is like not so hysterical, like nice.
but you were being like semi-sarcastic though.
Okay, nice.
Please do one more time for us. Please do one more time for us.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, the sarcastic one lah. Okay. This is embarrassing. I don't know who's watching, okay, but this is embarrassing. Chloe Chen, 30, Malaysia! No, you know why? You have to drag it long. You have to drag it long so that your airtime is longer.
Oh my god!
Ah!
I didn't think of that.
Yeah. So like if your name is long, you need like Chloe Chen Tian-Ni, like your full name, like Chloe Chen Tian-Ni, 30, Malaysia! They can't cut you, right? They have to show until you finish. So like the longer you drag.
Oh my god, why did I ever think? If anyone is watching this and you're a beauty queen, please do this next time. Oh my goodness, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, tips. Don't make it end fast,
Oh my god. So you drag the Malaysia, is it?
That would be my strategy lah.
Do whatever you can in the 20 minutes.
You're like the Yang Sing, like Malaysia. You'll be like shit. Okay lah. I think we're done.
Mm-hmm.
No more questions. We've done our intro, so I guess it's our outro in a way.
Well, I mean, I hesitate to come on and cut you ladies off. It looks like you're having a lot of fun, but unfortunately, we are running out of time just a little bit. But I've got a question for the both of you, I guess, before we wrap this up. So I don't know who wants to answer this first. It's a very simple question, but I mean, tell me. I mean, I know Alexis, you were looking forward to a big event that you guys were doing for Transfer Change, right? Which unfortunately, due to MCO, you couldn't undertake. So what are you most looking forward to getting back to next? Once the MCO is lifted soon, we hope. What are you most looking forward to getting back to?
I'm just looking forward for everyone to go back to normal. It's not just me, it's for everyone. I think that a lot of people are struggling right now, and I think that for me, I'm still very blessed to be able to just stay at home, do nothing. I mean, still work online and stuff like that, but a lot of people have to go out there. A lot of government servers and stuff like that, they can't go out. And also I hope that everyone is able to go out there. And the first thing I'm going to do is go to my friend's house, which is Gary's house, and we're actually going to go out and feed the homeless, because those are
nice. Okay. Yeah, they're having they're the most vulnerable, I think, at this time. Well, because no one can literally leave the house to help them out, and no one can gather. I mean, I've done a couple of only a couple, I should add. I've done a couple of like homeless feeding myself, and obviously that requires a lot of people to get together and hand things out, and obviously with social distancing, that makes things pretty difficult. So yeah, hopefully we can do much more for them once this is over. Chloe, how about you? What are you looking forward to getting back to?
The most?
Yeah, what are you excited about doing when you can leave the house?
Okay, like work, obviously. Like I'm hoping that it'll pick up again. But on a lighter note, like a massage.
Oh yeah, do my hair. That's what I want to do. I want to do my hair. Look at my roots. Oh,
I really miss like massages, Because like those are the places that are not open, like hair salons that look at my hair.
When you put it that way. Yeah. Yeah, when you put it that way, that's true. Actually, I don't know what I was going to say, but now massage is at the top of my list too. Good thinking.
Yeah.
All right.
You're welcome.
So on that happy note, I think we'll have to call it the end of the session there. But thank you both of you so much for giving your time and your evening to join us tonight. It's been a very insightful, very entertaining chat, spilling the tea, as it were, on the inside life of the pageant queens. And we've been blessed, of course, with not one but two Miss World Malaysia winners. So thank you both for sharing your insights, your journey, and we can't wait Alexis, to see more of you on TikTok, for example. We can't wait to see what content you start coming up with next. We've got a few more weeks to go of like CMCO, so I'm sure you'll only get better at music. I don't know what you call music videos, I guess, on TikTok. And Chloe,
singing, dancing.
Yeah, exactly, all of it. We'll start seeing some amazing stuff from Alexis. And Chloe, I'm sure you might just get so bored you end up downloading it yourself too. So maybe we'll see like a virtual collaboration. Who knows?
Let's see.
All very exciting. All very exciting stuff. But thank you both again so much. We really appreciate it. And we hope to see you again, in person soon. We miss you guys. I think the last time I saw you both was at like an ALYFE event. And so we hope to be able to do like a real lifestyle event soon. But for now, virtually is the best we've got. But it's fun, I think. So. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us. And thank you to the audience as well. Thank you for answering all their questions. So thank you guys. But we'll say good night now. Okay, so both of you ladies, thank you so much. Good night. Take care, and we'll see you soon. There we go, the wonderful Chloe Chen and Alexis Sue-Ann, and we can't wait to see what excellent work they both get up to, especially Alexis with that charity that's so close to her heart. That's Chance for Change and the Rumakita Foundation. So we are putting a survey in the links in the comments below the Facebook video. So you'll find there the survey link where you can find more information on Rumakita. You'll be directed to their Facebook page. Please do fill it out and give us your feedback. It's always good for us to know how you found the session. Okay, that wraps up day 3 of week 4 of ALYFE Connect, but don't go anywhere because we are coming back for the final 2 days of the week with more entertaining sessions. We are back tomorrow with live music with the excellent singer-songwriter Talitha Tan, who will be wowing us with an acoustic performance and taking some song dedications and requests, before wrapping up the week on Friday with another content creator and TikToker and all-round entertainer and good guy, Mr. Mark O'Dear. So he is coming with us on Friday. Tomorrow night is live music with Talitha Tan. Join us then. We'll see you tomorrow. Stay safe, stay well, and good night.